Hello, little dreamers, and welcome to our story corner. Tonight, let's listen closely to the whispers of the garden on a quiet spring evening, just as the moon began to glow. I thought I heard a magical conversation. It was between a gentle white snowdrop and a beautiful red tulip from far, far away. The tulip was sharing a story, a legend from her homeland of Uzbekistan, and it's a tale I want to share with you. Long, long ago, nestled in the grand mountains of Darapsan, lived a poor shepherd named Zabidin. He had 7 wonderful daughters, but the youngest, named Tulip, was the most beautiful of all. Her laughter was like music, and she loved to dance freely in the mountain fields. One afternoon, a cruel landowner named Hamit saw Tulip dancing with such joy. He was filled with greed and decided he must have her. He captured poor Tulip and locked her away in his grand palace. There she was forced to weave carpets day and night, her fingers sore and her heart heavy. She missed her family, the fresh mountain air, and the feeling of freedom. One day, a little white dove landed on her windowsill. Seeing a chance, Tulip whispered a message of her sadness and tied it to the dove's leg, sending it soaring towards her home. When the dove reached the mountains, Tulip's elder sister found the message. Her heart broke. But then, filled with courage, she gathered all the brave girls from the village, and together they hatched a daring plan to rescue their beloved Tulip. Under the cloak of darkness, they crept into the heavily guarded palace. The path was treacherous, and they had to tiptoe over sharp, broken glass that cut their feet, but they didn't give up. They found Tulip, broke her free from her room, and together they all ran. They ran as fast as they could, back towards the snowy mountains and towards their freedom. But soon they heard the terrifying sound of horse hooves thundering behind them. It was Hamid, and he was chasing them, furious and determined. The girls were exhausted, their legs aching, and they knew he would catch them all. Tulip looked at her brave sisters and friends, their faces pale with fear. She knew what she had to do. To protect their freedom, to save them from being captured, she made a heartbreaking choice. With a final, brave cry, she threw herself directly in the path of Hamid's charging horse. The horse stumbled, and in the chaos, the other girls escaped, running to safety. But brave Tulip was gone. She had sacrificed herself for her friends. The next morning, as the sun rose over the mountains, something miraculous had happened. Everywhere that Tulip's blood had touched the pure white snow, a flower bloomed. It was a flower no one had ever seen before, a bright, vibrant, fiery red flower. And from that day on, they were called tulips, a beautiful reminder of a young girl's ultimate act of courage and love. After the tulip finished her story, a deep silence fell over the garden. The leaves stopped rustling, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. I quietly stepped outside to see for myself. There, in the moonlight, stood a single, proud red tulip, glowing like a tiny flame. And right beside it, on the delicate white petal of the little snowdrop, was a single, shining tear, sparkling like a tiny diamond. It was a tear for a story of sacrifice, a tribute to friendship, and a celebration of the freedom that blooms even from the saddest goodbyes. Thank you for listening, my dear friends. Remember the courage of Tulip and the kindness of the snowdrop. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you for our next story.